Donald's officially entered the race for president, but will he be a serious candidate or a circus sideshow?
We are going to make our country great again.
And how Miley's igniting a new fashion trend that some people are calling the pits. Then, comedy superstar Mindy Kaling turns The View inside out.
That is not brightly colored or shaped like a dinosaur. Hold on, guys. It's broccoli! Yes!
Why she's disgusted in this summer's must-see animated blockbuster and how wild things get on the triumphant return of the Mindy Project. And think Gretchen Carlson gives the real story on Fox News? Then she's gonna blow your mind when she starts getting real right here. This is The View with Whoopi, Nicole Wallace, Rosie Perez, and Raven Simone. And today, Michelle Collins hits the co-host chair. It all starts now.
To The View, y'all. And I just have to say congratulations to the Golden State Warriors. You know, they beat the Cavaliers to win their first NBA championship in 40 years. It's kind of fabulous. Did y'all watch?
Oh, did I watch? I was screaming with glee.
Yeah.
You know, Stephen Curry and the entire team was just amazing, and I just want to say congratulations to Andre. I'm going to mess up your name, but it's okay. I still love you. Iguodala.
Oh,
he was the MVP on Golden State Warriors, and it was such a wonderful thing for him to win.
Yes.
You know, he's been in the game for a long, long time. And I do have to say, you know, it was a good effort on the Cavs. LeBron James, but the entire team, because they were down. Kevin Love was out, Irving was out, and they did their best. They still made it to the finals, you know. And
LeBron made it to the finals.
LeBron made it to the finals.
LeBron made it to the finals, and he brought them with him. I mean, you know, Cleveland is an okay team. With LeBron, they're magnificent, but you know, you can't win if you're not a team. Everybody's got to do it together. You know, you can't just.
That was what was so smart. You know, first of all, the Warriors are a running team. They outran the Cavs. But also is that, you know, Stephen Curry would find the open man and pass the ball instead of hogging it. And it was just really great. You know, and I know you're saying calmer about LeBron. Why?
One, before I do my comment about LeBron, I saw this really funny meme on the internet, and it was Stephen Curry sitting down like the guy who is the most interesting man in the world. He's like, I don't always make shots. Just joking. I always make my shots. I thought that was the best meme ever. LeBron has an ego. I agree. He has an ego, and sometimes it's called karma. Sorry.
And especially after what we saw.
I don't think so. I don't think he has any sort of outsized ego at that level in that sport. And all I'm sitting here thinking of is, I can't believe you're wearing that shirt and I'm not. My family's going to kill me again.
Again.
I'm covered in sweat. Like, why did I think of that?
I don't know.
I am from the Bay Area.
But I have to say, you know, in regards to LeBron, everybody's giving him slack because, you know, they're saying that he said he was
grief.
Well,
yes, they would cut him slack after you speak.
Right.
But they're giving him grief now. Go ahead, baby.
Well, people are saying that he said he's the greatest of all time. Well, actually, what he said was, I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world. It's that simple. And I said, I agree with him currently. Currently, he is. But he's not the greatest of all time. LeBron has 2 titles in 12 seasons, and he's 30 years old. But Michael Jordan, in his first 12 seasons, had 5.
Right, but he had what Whoopi's talking about. He had an incredible team. I mean, he played alongside. He knew, you know.
Well, and here's the thing. You know, he's allowed to feel like he is the greatest player right now.
He is.
You know, and don't forget, lots of folks said that Muhammad Ali was notorious for saying, I am the great, and he was.
And he is.
You know?
He also won all his fights.
But this is true.
Muhammad Ali?
I mean,
not all of them.
within reason.
But
more than two.
But LeBron is one of the best. He is one of the best players on the planet right now. There's just no getting around it. And there will always be great players because when 2-year-olds ascend, they move everybody to the side, you know, and they become the greatest. So, you know, congratulations to everybody. You made the game. You played both teams. Bravo. But you didn't watch.
Well, first of all, give it up for Rosie. The reason I've been so quiet is because I wasn't watching the game because I had bigger priorities. Known as an A&E show called Married at First Sight. I don't know if anybody here, one woman just stood up. Yes, it is.
She was adjusting in her seat, I think.
Nicole, give me some credit, please. Okay. No, it's an amazing show. Basically, they had experts pair together 3 couples who met for the very first time on the altar, and they got married on the spot. And then you just watch them basically
arranged marriages.
Arranged marriages.
And your statistics show that they're not all that bad. I mean, the divorce rates.
Hold on a minute, Nicole, because let's go through the couples and let's see where they ended up.
Okay.
First, you had Davina.
I mean, not just on the show, but worldwide, arranged marriages don't turn out that much worse.
Well, because you're from like a religious home, probably.
I would go to Mars.
Arranged
I would leave the planet and go to Mars if somebody arranged a marriage, especially as a family member. They don't know what I want.
Well, listen, let's go through the couple. So Davina and Sean, and I'm hoping you guys, let's take a look at them. They are divorced. There they are. He was the first guy, or in the middle, excuse me.
The drug addict?
In the middle. No, we're not allowed to say that. Anyways, then the guy, there were 2 Ryans. There's the horsey-faced one over here. That's horsey-face. I would marry him.
Horses, so
I love a horse. Are you kidding me? Equus. Are you kidding? That's my favorite play. And then, wait, and then the other Ryan, and now the wife, don't get mad, Ryan
No,
Danino.
never mad, but you know, you're going to want to talk to them at some point.
Well, right, that's true.
You know,
go ahead. Jessica Castro, she filed a restraining order against him. Not only.
Did this all go down last night?
Last night was the big reunion special.
Okay,
they all
are
fought.
any of them talking?
None. They're all divorced.
Oh my God.
All fighting. You guys, it's an amazing show. That's why I'm like helping you. You need to watch the show. It's incredible. They're all splitting up, but one of them filed a restraining order because very much like on the Jinx, backstage on a hot mic, he said, "I'm going to kill her when she gets back to Boston. I'm going to kill her." And so she went and filed, rightfully so, I think, a restraining order. And they're
oh my God! I just got the best idea for a show. You and Chris Harrison take the bachelor couples and the arranged marriage couples, and you run them against each other and see who can last longer.
That's my dream, because you know I love The Bachelorette also.
ABC listening, we have a new show for next season, Michelle and Chris.
I just want to watch people divorce. Is that okay to say? I love watching people break up. Anyways, but that's me. That's just who I am. Thank you.
Speaking of people breaking up, he's been threatening to do this since the 90s, but yesterday Donald Trump descended the escalator to Trump Tower to announce he's running for president. Here's a few reasons why he says he's the right dude for the job. Go ahead.
I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. I tell you that. And I have assets, big accounting firm, one of the most highly respected, $9,240 million. I'm really rich. I'll show you that in a second. And by the way, I'm not even saying that in a brag. That's the kind of mindset, that's the kind of thinking you need for this country. But Mr. Trump, you're not a nice person. We don't need nice. That's true. But actually I am. I think I am a nice person. People that know me like me.
Oh my God. I gotta eat my high. Do I have to answer for him since he's in my party? Okay, can I try?
You can try.
When I saw him descend from the tower.
Oh my God, like a bootleg Evita Peron. I was like, dude, I was like, what kind of bootleg Evita sequel?
If you never say another word, that was magnificent. Like a bootleg Evita Peron.
Let me get this out, though, because I don't know about you guys, but there are people in my life who shout things at the television. There are Archie Bunkers in my life. And what they shout is the stuff that he said yesterday. There are people who believe that stuff. But what I want to say, his gift to the Republican Party is that now he's going to be at the debates. We talked to Carly Fiorina yesterday about he polls in the top 10. Like, enough people yell those things at their TV that he will make it in the top 10. He has given Jeb Bush, Chris Christie, Marco Rubio an opportunity to stand next to him this close and stand up to his comments about immigration. I mean, he is a xenophobic, anti-immigrant person.
Well,
and
let's discuss what he said. Yeah, let's discuss what he said. He basically said that people crossing the border from Mexico, you know, are all these horrible things, and he also included that they are also rapists.
You have to watch it, Rosie. Yeah. Let's show the clip.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. Well, it's coming from more than Mexico. It's coming from all over South and Latin America, and it's coming probably from the Middle East. I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me, believe me. And I'll build them very inexpensively. I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words.
How do we deport him? I have to know. We have to get, this is one of the worst.
Can we first say that there's already a wall?
There's already a wall.
There's already a wall.
Yeah, there's been a wall for a while, Donald.
My favorite quote from him is, though, he goes, I love Chinese people. I don't dislike them. I sold an apartment for $15 million to a China person. I love them. That's so rude and disrespectful. I can't even take it right now.
I would also love those people, though, just for the record. If you have like $15 million for an apartment. Can we mention he's gone bankrupt 4 times? Like, this is the person we want to trust our economy with.
You're talking about so many countries in such a bad light.
Sure.
If you want to be president, don't you have to schmooze a little bit more than that?
He's doing it for publicity. I don't believe he's truly running. I think it's just to get in the news.
But I mean, you talked about your mom. Your mom loves him. I mean, people love him, and anyone.
My mom is on a different level. You know, I love her, but
you know what? You know how they say, here's the thing. He will be formidable because he's loud, but it doesn't mean a thing until you show people what you think you can do for the country. You got a lot of people who want to run for president. If you can stand up to them, forget about us, because clearly you don't care what we think, because some of us, my God, we're rapists and we come from countries in Latin America and all these bad things. Well, let's see how you do when you want folks to elect you. See, if you pee on everybody, you can't tell them it's rain. Yes, I stole that. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
Can't win when it comes to losing weight? You won't believe who could be your biggest enemy. Next.
Before we do anything else, you know, we like to be accurate. And Raven, you want to clean this up.
I had verbal vomit. I said the wrong words. He actually said, I like China. Trump.
Yeah.
Sorry, Trump. I like China. I just sold an apartment for $15 million to someone from China. Am I supposed to dislike them? People say you don't like China. No, I love them. I beat China all the time.
Okay.
That's
so
what he
just
said.
to make sure that
I said the wrong words. I'm very sorry.
That we're not putting words in his mouth. Yeah. We never want to appear to be doing that. And when we discover that we made a mistake, we try to clean it up. Sometimes
I made a mistake.
Yes,
I wasn't wearing the right shirt, but Rosie.
Yeah. Okay. Not to make you feel better or anything, but I hope your folks are still watching. Just saying, you know, they might have tuned in to hope to see you in that church, but they didn't. I'm just saying, you know, I love her parents. She loves her parents. She disregarded their wishes.
Always
But, you know, we were talking about people running for office and candidates and stuff, but some candidates are showing off their lighter side on the campaign trail. Here's Jeb Bush slow jamming the news on The Tonight Show. Take a look.
Now was the right time to launch my campaign for the Republican nomination.
Oh, yeah. The governor thought long and hard about joining the GOP race. After months of being a total caucus tease, Jeb finally made up his mind and quit beating around the bush.
Jeb really wants to get in the White House, but not as bad as Obama wants out.
You know, and then of course, Hillary had some fun while she was at a rally in New York over the weekend. Take a look.
All our presidents come into office looking so vigorous. And then we watch their hair grow grayer and grayer. You won't see my hair turn white in the White House. I've been coloring it for years.
Important. She sounds interesting, right? You won't see, like she sounds...
It's like a bad Kennedy impression. Yeah.
She sounds very mannered. I think it's because she was in such a large crowd. You know, what also I liked about what she said, you know, she's making fun of her pants, you know, her famous pantsuits. And she's, you know, she said, listen, I'm at an age where, you know, I'm going to dress the way I want to dress, and I'm going to look the way I want to look.
Let me tell you something. I'm half Hillary's age. I'm wearing a Hillary blazer today in her honor. It's long, covers the backside. Everybody looks good in a Hillary jacket. So you can make fun of her all you want. Try one on and see how you feel. It's a nice feeling to have it.
The interesting thing about all of this, to all of the candidates who are running, whether you're Democratic or Republican, you need a sense of humor about yourself.
For sure.
It's a very important test, and no one has ever won who couldn't sort of pass the late night couch test. You know, you have to be someone that you want to watch make fun of themselves.
Yeah.
And
you know, like us. Like, we make fun of ourselves all the time, okay? There's a fashion trend right now that's growing among some celebrities, apparently. So rush out and do it. Miley Cyrus apparently has been doing it, and girl star Jemima Kirk just showed up on the red carpet sporting unshaven underarms.
What's wrong with it? Y'all know you hate razor burn underneath your armpits.
That's right.
That hurts. I hate waxing, lasering, shaving. I do shave because my mama would come for me, but I think that's awesome. Why not? There's some people who don't shave their legs, and you get a big uproar about it. They're growing for a reason. Hair grows on your body for a reason.
I know, but you know, you can't lotion your legs up with hair on it. You know what I'm saying? It gets a little... I've lasered, gentlemen. Anyways, I've gotten a lot of it. It's true, though, because I had the same issue shaving. You know, you get burned, whatever. I've lasered a lot of it off, and y'all, it works. I'm telling you right now, I used to wake up looking like Abe Lincoln, and look at me now. I mean, it's changed my life.
Look at her now.
Look at me now.
Look
It's
at her
true,
now.
though. It's great.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, baby.
People dye them, too. And I know somebody who's
People
dyed...
dye what?
Their armpit hair. Like Miley's was red. I know somebody from the Disney world that used to dye their other hair.
No.
Different colors.
No.
But I mean, by the time you take the time to dye it, you may as well just shave it or wax it.
No, you can braid it.
What? Put a bead on it? What are you talking about? Topsy-tail it? What are we talking about?
I want to scrunch it.
I can't even tell you about it. I don't know. You know, here's the thing. You do, if you are going to shave your underarm hair, or if you're not going to shave it, just cut it. You know, that will help aerate it, because one of the things that does happen is when there's too much hair under there and it's in a hot spot and you sweat, it's about odor, okay? Not for everybody. No, because it bleaches. I'll tell you about it. We're going to be back with even more hot topics.
I can't wait.
This guy better get spoiled on Father's Day. The dad going viral for giving his daughter an unforgettable lesson on...
Welcome back. We're just talking about Brazilian waxes. And how, you know, who can see what's back there? Is there so much hair back there that other people can see it? Is it pushing up against your clothes? And it's, oh my God, you gotta get that little afro out of there. Why are you doing? I don't know. You know, just months after football's Deflategate, there's a new sports scandal. It's happening in baseball. The St. Louis Cardinals are being investigated by the FBI for hacking into the Houston Astros database. But seriously?
Yeah, you know
what the hell?
Well,
I mean, it's a bigger problem.
Yeah, and the report, the allegation is that some of the players knew the passwords for the Astros system, so they got on their own system and used passwords that they
The reason why they
not players, but the management.
The front office. It's the front office that they're looking at, and it's because Jeff Lonau, the Astros general manager, he used to work for the Cardinals from 2003 and 2011. And they said that this was a vengeful act against him, and that's why they did know his
But
password.
everybody's getting hacked. You were talking about getting hacked yesterday.
I have Anthem health insurance, and when the Anthem hack happened, we were getting letters saying, hey, people are going to use your information to go to the doctor. I'm like, what do I have? Like, what are they going to the doctor for? You know, you can get bills for thousands for an operation that you never got. I mean, it's crazy, actually.
The White House was just hacked. I got a note saying that my personnel information from my 8 years there was maybe hacked into. So, yeah, I think everyone is susceptible to it, and you have to do those things where you check on your own credit because anyone can
On a smaller level, they do have really good security systems, a smaller level than this, obviously, but for your phone, and I heard there's a new one where not only do you have to put in a password, and if you forget your password, you can tie up to 5 people that know you that will be called to say and identify this is who's logging into your phone.
My
this
friends
is
would
who
not
it is.
vouch for me. They'd be like, that ain't her. That is not her.
I'm sorry. I know I'm an old person. I don't mind that my stuff is in some old person's place where they have to pull out the thing and look it up, because I know nobody's going to get my stuff, okay? I'm tired of people from God knows where getting into my business because my business is in a cloud. The cloud. I'm tired of it. I want, you know, store my stuff. I'm sorry, because if your stuff is stored somewhere, if there's a hard copy of it somewhere, then at least you know what you got. But now it's all there. None of us know what's up there.
Are you trying to help the environment?
Yes. In the 21st...
you know what? The environment is great. I adore the environment.
Yeah, but it's the 21st century, and we should have a way to stop the hacking, and we don't.
But they don't.
Goes back to education. Well, coding needs to be a priority in our education system.
Absolutely. But what does that do? What do we do right now? I know all the stuff we need to do. I'm not, listen, I bought 4 clouds. They still got in one. They know how to get in the cloud, but it's harder to get into that locked thing.
Yeah, but do you ever remember where it is? I mean, my problem is I'd lock it somewhere and I would never remember where.
No, it's with the people, with the grown-ups. You give it to the grown-ups. Listen, we'll be right back with the fabulous Mindy Kaling.
Why did her new animated blockbuster have her in tears? Is her dating life as wild as her show, The Mindy Project? Get to know Mindy Kaling inside out next.
Comedy rule right now, and her inner child has veto power over the menu in the new Disney Pixar movie Inside Out. Take a look.
Here we go. All right, open.
This looks new.
Think it's safe?
What is it? Okay, caution. There is a dangerous smell, people. Hold on, what is that?
This is disgust. She basically keeps Riley from being poisoned, physically and socially.
That is not brightly colored or shaped like a dinosaur. Hold on, guys. It's broccoli! I just saved our lives. Yeah, you're welcome.
Please welcome Mindy Kaling.
I'm on a stool.
Well, glad to be on one, then have one.
Guys, when I have this situation, I'm like, have I ever crossed my legs in my life? It's very difficult to be ladylike on a stool.
Don't do it.
Don't do it? Okay. All right, I'm just not going to.
Hey, there are people that will keep an eye on everything for you. I have this problem, too, on a stool, so you look perfect.
Yeah. No one needs to see what's underneath this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You look perfect.
Thanks, guys.
You're perfectly perched.
Yes. I'm sure that was your own character talking to you in your head about your legs, because you played Disgust in this movie, and I saw it. It's absolutely hilarious.
Thank you.
I love this movie. I know I have multiple of yous in my head. So the movie is about the 11-year-old girl who has to learn how to be happy, which is refreshing to you. Why?
I just like that this is a big summer movie, but that Pixar thought that instead of having a young girl be a princess who needs to find an amulet or a map or something like that. The movie's just about a girl who's trying to be happy. And that was, I think, really sophisticated, and which
I mean, obviously I would do any movie that Pixar wanted to do, but I thought that was so cool. And that it's basically a young woman is the star of the summer blockbuster movie. It's cool.
And she's normal. She was just down to earth and cool, and she goes through things that, I mean, even grown-ups go through. I loved it too.
Yeah, she just has to try to be happy, and it's like, I don't know. I thought that was really cool.
I agree with you, and it was very profound, and it certainly doesn't end in childhood. But I love the scene that we showed. I have a 3.5-year-old who has a very strong disgust character in his head, because that resembled mealtime at our house. But I told you backstage, I cried through much of this movie, and you had an emotional reaction when you heard about the story.
Yeah, I went up to Pixar after I'd been cast, and they, the movie's so personal for the director. Pete Docter made it because of his daughter, who's 11 years old, who he was feeling was a little bit more private than she'd used to be when she was younger, and so he wrote it because he thought that was a very mysterious time for his daughter, and it's something about that just made his love, this father's love for figuring out why he was growing distant, just made me cry. It's a very funny movie too.
Oh, it's hilarious.
We're describing it.
But that's a good point. I mean, tell everyone what the movie's about. We're focused on the pain, but it actually is such a fun ride.
It's about a little girl named Riley who moves from Minnesota to San Francisco at a time when it's the worst time to move. She's 11 years old. She has all of her best friends. And we play all of the emotions in her head. We're trying to figure out what's going on with her, because up until that time, she'd been a really happy little girl. So
I loved it.
I want to ask you, is animation something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, you hear about animation and you're like, oh, I can show up in my pajamas and just say things and get paid, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the greatest scam on earth. How do I get in on this is what I thought. And then the fact that it was Pixar, which, I mean, Pete Docter, who did the movie Up, which I don't know if you guys have seen, but is so beautiful. And, like, there's some people, like, yeah, it's gorgeous. Like, a Pixar movie, the Coen brothers, Alexander Payne, like, now it's Ava DuVernay, but like people like that, you're like, I will do whatever you want to do. And I felt like it was a little bit of a no-brainer.
Well, I want to talk about the Mindy Project.
I would love to. Yes.
It's a genius show. You wrote, produced, and starred in it, but it's not here for the 3rd season, but the 4th season is going to Hulu?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Who's excited?
It is exciting.
Are you excited? Because now, Hulu and things of that nature, you can do whatever you want. Are you, like, going wild now?
I get asked this question, and what's great about Hulu is they're giving us a lot of flexibility to do what we'd like in the show. But, I don't know, like, we push the envelope pretty much already as it is. We've done some stuff that, like, I can't believe we got away with it. So I think, there are 13 and 14-year-old girls watching it. I don't want them to feel weird about watching it on Hulu, seeing some stuff that they're a little, weirded out by. But I think it's going to be, we're still going to have the great, awesome guest stars that we've had. I think we'll just have a little bit more time. The show doesn't have to be like 21 minutes. It can be a little bit longer now.
Cool.
And you're on the cover of InStyle magazine.
I'm really accomplished.
And you look hot, hot, hot. Was there anything unexpectedly bizarre about being a cover model?
Well, I think when I was on the cover of this magazine, I think people were excited because I don't look like a lot of women who tend to be on the covers of magazines. I'm not like a little stick. Wait, what are you saying? I'm not a tall blonde woman?
I think you look better.
Oh my God, that skin is flawless right now.
I totally did not know that.
Thank you, guys. But what happens is they're like, a lot of times when you are not, super skinny and you're on a cover of a magazine and things like that, the idea is like, oh, we'll just let her be like, we're gonna get credit for having someone be like really natural and real. But I'm like everyone else, where I'm like, you can Photoshop me as much as you want. I was like, you can like take me if you want.
Wait, girl, I learned how to do Photoshop myself so I can Photoshop my own pictures and then give them to people.
You have to give me a tutorial afterwards.
Oh, I know how to tuck and suck everything on Photoshop.
Okay, excellent.
I can't wait to read your 2nd book. You've got another book coming out.
Yeah, I do, in September. That'll be good. Thanks.
On Fox News, but you will not believe her story, which she shares in her new memoir, Getting Real. Please welcome Gretchen Carlson. Hello.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And so glad you're here. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be back here on The View.
Well, we're very happy to have you here. And I have to just start with Donald Trump, because you've known him for a couple of decades, right?
I have.
What do you think?
Well, I think that it's a courageous move on his part. Oh, look at the picture. Woo!
Wow. So this is you and Trump when you were
competing at Miss America.
Okay.
Yep. It's almost, well, it's 27 years ago. That picture.
Okay, I hate you a little bit because you look exactly the same.
Oh,
you know that picture back?
So does his hair, so it's all great.
Yeah.
He's aged better than he has.
Yeah, well, I think it's an interesting decision on his part.
Right.
You know, I don't think he could have had the press conference yesterday and then not announced that he was running, because it would have been another stunt. The one thing he has to overcome is that he has some of the highest negatives in the polling right now. And maybe that's because people didn't think he was actually going to become a candidate. So that could change now. I think it will be very interesting to look at the polling as we move forward in the next few weeks.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on him.
Yes, yes.
I want to get into your story because I've watched you for years. I've been on some Fox and Friends with you, and but I didn't know about your insane talent as a violinist. You were, at 6 years old, a child prodigy. You went to Stanford. I mean, tell us about your life story, the stuff that people don't know just from seeing you on television.
Right. So I grew up in a small town in Minnesota, and I started playing the violin, and it just clicked. And I started practicing, you know, 3 and 4 hours a day, and I played for Isaac Stern and a lot of, you know, really famous artists, and did a ton of competitions. And then when I got to age 17, I burned out. Sometimes you read about that with children who dedicate their life to one thing. Parents were devastated. Really wanted me to find another goal to use that talent. My mom got a brochure in the mail on the Miss America pageant. She called me up at Stanford, and she said, "I think I found something for you to try." And I said, "No way." I had grown up a chubby kid and struggled with that. And I had never really watched any pageants.
You know, it's very funny because I was also a chubby kid who also played violin for 10 years.
Wow.
And I also, let's call it burned out, but I never played for Isaac Stern. I would play like for company when they came over for dinner. And my mother never made me, like my mother sent me diet pills, but I was never Miss America. Let's just put it there.
Well, let's just say though that my book is inspirational for all young people, middle-aged and old women and men who have ever struggled with their weight. Because eventually I lost 35 pounds.
How'd you do it?
You know, I just went on a diet. Here's the thing, my favorite activity still is to eat.
It's so easy.
You know, but even one of my judges wrote a scathing book about me the year later and still called me fat on stage at 108 pounds, the thinnest I've ever been. He also called me Miss Piggy.
Oh my God.
And a God clutcher. Just for good measure.
Oh, God.
So, you know, it really taught me the experience of how when you get exposure in life like that, that you need to develop really thick skin to take on your critics. And I say now that I reached the bimbo trifecta when I got to Fox News in a joking way.
Explain that.
Well, so I'm natural blonde, you know, former Miss America with tough skin, and now I'm a Fox News host. And as we all know, I take a lot of criticism from day to day on just working there. So what I say in the book is, look, when people don't want to debate you on the smart issues, it's sometimes just easier to call you a dumb blonde from Fox.
True.
Well, you know, before Fox, you got into TV on a whim because you always wanted to be a lawyer, correct?
Correct.
Right, yeah, and then, but you got sucked into it, and you joked that your career started by peeing on a stick.
Yes, because at my first job, you know, you had to be drug tested.
Right.
And they didn't really warn me about it.
Was
so
it McDonald's? No, I'm joking.
No.
They do that there, just so you guys
I would have liked the big breakfast there, though.
Right. Big Mac discount.
Yeah, but anyway, that's how I got my first job in Richmond, Virginia. I had taken my law school tests, though, and I knew that the LSATs were good for 5 years in case the TV gig didn't work out. But it's still one of my dreams. It's one of the things in my book on my bucket list. Maybe I will eventually go to law school.
So now, in Richmond and Virginia, let me, I just want to, because this I thought was really just incredible. You talk about a very scary experience that you endured there, and tell everyone what happened, because I've experienced it as well.
It's the first time I've ever shared this story in my book, that for 4 years I had a life-threatening stalker. He followed me to Richmond, he followed me to Cincinnati, he stalked my parents. And I knew I should tell about it in the book because I want to help other women, because usually the victims nobody cares about until they're dead. And I felt comfortable to talk about it for the first time because I found out that he's no longer with us.
Wow.
So I could share the story. And for all the women out there who've gone through anything like this or through domestic violence, I understand your pain and your struggle.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that story. Thanks for being here. You have to come back.
Thank you so much.
Love having you. Well, thanks to Gretchen Carlson. Members of our audience are going copy of Gretchen's great new book, which is available in stores now, and we will be right back. Thank you.
One of 200 chefs taking part in the James Beard Foundation's Better Burger Project, which challenges them to create a better burger. They all must use the same secret ingredient, and Manit is going to reveal the secret to us now. And the suspense is killing us. Drum roll, please. All right.
And the secret ingredient is mushroom. Finely chopped, fresh, cultivated mushrooms in my burgers to make it more delicious and nutritious.
Wow. Well, tell people at home how they can get involved in the Better Burger Project.
All you have to do is find a participating restaurant at betterburgerproject.org.
Right.
Then vote by taking a picture of the burger and posting it on Instagram. Hashtag Better Burger Project.
I like that.
And don't forget to tag the chef or the restaurant.
Oh, very nice. Thanks, Mahit. Now, you know, just so you all can make a better burger here, we're giving members of our studio audience a chef's apron to take home. Oh, and by the way, you're all getting a food processor as well. Thank you, Michelle Collins. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for coming. Take a little time to enjoy the view.